worried about what the hospital. Hello. I don't think anyone's here yet, but that is okay. We're recording? We are live. It'll get posted. Ow! I'm sorry. I'm trying to get things this way. Here, slide this way. All right, everyone pose for us. Hello. Welcome to our live stream. We're just taking a quick post for our Instagram. All right, there we go. You could hear it too. Welcome to Adulting Decrypted, the show where we break down the complex codes of common conundrums into logical living in an effort to decrypt the code we call adulting. Welcome. We are your hosts.
I'm Gene, and I'm officially now out of high school. I've graduated.
Woo! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do a little party dance. Celebrate the big stuff.
It's me. I'm Gideon. I'm now actually moving to the high school because over here, 9th grade is still in the junior high school. So,
Over here being Utah, is that correct?
Yes.
Not
in
over
Utah.
here where we currently are.
Yeah, we're in Florida.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Gotcha. We are in
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, if you're following our Instagram, you probably saw the post where I talked about our live stream and you saw that it said we're starting at 9 because we are starting at 9. But it's 9 Florida time, which is a time zone I can't remember. Is it Eastern?
Yes.
Eastern Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, my name's Ashton, and something cool about myself is I will be going back to college this fall because I took a semester off in spring to do some money making and discovery.
Good. No, that's awesome. I'm Roscoe the dad. I'm the one that ended up putting us here at in Florida. Michelle booked us a nice beach here at Indian Harbor. You can't see behind us.
Yeah.
But Ashton's afraid you guys will think we're in a hospital.
Yeah. Well, because originally, oh, Gene, look, you got a shout out from, hey, Josie, how you doing? Josie, how's it going? But yeah, so originally the plan is these are curtains here. We have this big slide. You'll just have to believe me. There's this big sliding glass right here. And you saw this beautiful beach, beautiful sunset, big waves, nice pool. It's all right there. But since it got dark, you can't see it. And so now I have a hospital background.
Now, when he says big waves, I mean, you got to consider these are Utah boys.
Yeah.
And Utah Lake has big waves. So these are real big waves, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean, when the water is naturally hitting you at your waist just every other second, it's kind of cool.
It is real pretty for sure.
But yeah, welcome to our live stream. We are ready to get going. I think we wanted to first tell you again, we are here in Florida, and so we just wanted to tell you a bit about what we're doing. And Dad, since you took us here,
That's awesome.
give us a quick recap.
Yeah, so obviously it's family vacation. The Allens do a family vacation. Seems like a lot, as a matter of fact, come to think of it. Our last live stream was also end of season 2, was in Christmas time, getting ready for the little break there at Christmas time. We were in St. George. Summer vacation, we decided this year to come to sunny Florida. And Florida over Hawaii because of the COVID restrictions in Hawaii and what's going on there, we were still a little nervous. So hence why we ended up in Florida. Sorry, guys, trying to get comfortable around this little table.
Our setup is not ideal still because we are on vacation. But yeah, so we're here in Florida. We spent, what was it now? 5 days in theme parks. We spent a day at Universal Studios, and we spent 4 days at Universal Studios, 2 days at one park, 2 days at the other park, spent a day at Hollywood Studios and Disneyland World. Got to get used to that too. Never been there before. But
One day at the Space Center.
One day at the Space Center.
Before that.
Before all of that.
After
But
a long flight day. Yeah.
After all.
and a flight day where we actually have the theme for this week's
Episode. Yeah, it's an episode. It's a live stream, but it's an episode.
because today is our third end of season 3 episode.
Season 3 finale. We made it.
That's a lot.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
For those of you doing math, that is 3 sets of 18 episodes.
Quick math in your
Which
head.
is math I'm not going to do and embarrass myself.
36.
50 something.
50-something. What, 18 and 18?
36?
Feels better.
That's 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 50. Wait,
Phew.
8, 8,
Yeah,
16
you're right. It's 50.
plus 8,
54?
54.
54
Yeah.
episodes. We should know.
That's
We've done 54 episodes?
54 episodes. Can you believe it?
No, I really
We're
can't.
halfway to 100. We've done this podcast for over a year, and it all started around a table that was much larger than this.
But still, just a group of us talking about, what we could do and what we think we bring. So,
Yeah.
we're having a lot of fun doing it. We thought we'd start with the recap of some of the stuff we learned in season 3 and some of the stuff we talked about, and then how they played out in our vacation. What's up?
I breathed the air wrong.
You breathed air of Florida wrong. Oh, okay.
You have to get used to it. It's different than Utah air.
It's
Yeah.
lower elevation.
Right, right. The elevation difference makes it harder to process the air.
Air. Yeah.
Don't believe them.
Anyway,
They're not really telling you the truth right
so I'm just pulling up my list here of our recap. I'm just going to quick run down, say all the episodes we've done. That way, if beautiful people, if there's anything that sticks out to you that you feel like you want to listen to, you can think about what we talked about in season 3. So first episode was season 3 begins. Is school worth it? Episode 2, starting conversations, how to talk to people.
Do
Episode
we need
2.
to let you get through this whole list?
Yeah, I'm
before
going to
we
go through and
interject?
then
Okay.
we're gonna recap. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get back to it. You'll be able to share your opinions.
What? I don't do that. Not very often.
Episode 3, dealing with loss, the 5 stages of grief. 4, the language of love. What are our personal love languages? Episode 5, a simple guide to taxes. Episode 6, how to make decisions. Episode 7, telling our adulting stories. Episode 8, priorities. One word. I think it's our only one-word title, by the way. Sleeping habits. And Build Your ET featuring Clint Pulver, how to leave the 80%. That's a lot of episodes.
That is.
Time.
Yeah.
17.
And we had a lot of neat conversations and neat guests and
Tons of new guests.
just I thought it was a really strong, powerful season 3. Looking forward to season 4. We've got some more stuff coming on the boilerplate. Looking forward to announcing that shortly. But before we get too far into the episodes, highlights from the vacation. Any highlights do you guys have? I had one today. I never jumped off, and I don't think they're on yet, but she will be a guest in the near future. I jumped off of somebody's, not just their dock, but their boathouse.
Their dock roof.
Their dock, yeah, boathouse roof. We got to jump off that into a channel, and Gene and I paddled next to a dolphin on a kayak.
Yeah, pretty dope.
He thought it was a shark, but don't worry, guys.
They look very similar.
Can't blame them. When they're in the water, it's really hard to tell.
It's just like an alligator and crocodile, but you really don't want to get close enough to find out sometimes.
Find out the difference.
At least that's how you were with the dolphin. I was like, come on, Gene, I know.
I'm not sure. It could be a shark. I don't want to test out my mind.
So for me, that was really fun. I mean, it was something obviously recent, but maybe not the highlight of all highlights, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Something I'd never done.
That was really, yeah, and I think it was probably one of the highest non-diving board jumps I've ever done. So that was exciting for me.
Yeah, he wasn't with us at PAL.
No.
Anyway,
They did a Lake Powell vacation where apparently they decided to jump off the Empire State Building or something. Because they keep hyping it up like it was a
gets
big deal.
taller. I mean, this
No,
is
it was taller than the roof, though. But you were terrified.
I was. And I will
Anyways.
admit, I was scared.
other highlights.
I did it. Well, a highlight for me has to be when we were in Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. We got to do Velocicoaster, which is their brand newest roller coaster that's technically not even supposed to be open for another 7 days. It opens June 10th. That thing is incredible. So if you have any plans, or if you are near Florida, or any plans to go to Florida, that is a place to visit because, oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was like the ride was incredibly smooth and it just keeps taking off and you keep feeling like you're going to fall out of your seat. It was
Which one was that?
awesome. Velocicoaster.
The Velocicoaster.
Yeah.
It was-
The whole
and it's
thing.
not open yet. So that was kind of
Yeah.
fun for me.
No, they're doing a soft open, so we got really lucky to get on it a few times. I think they were even filming some commercials, which is part of the reason why.
Oh,
it
yeah?
was
I didn't know that.
I don't think we got in any of them.
Oh.
I don't think it was.
I severely doubt it.
Yeah, I'm sure
We
we
did.
would
I'm
have had
sad we
to.
didn't get paid for signing.
Yeah, we would have had to have signed something.
We'd have plugged adulting to Cryptodult. if we were
For
on it.
sure, we would have had our stickers. Hold them out. Yeah, so that's probably my first highlight. There's plenty more. We'll have Gideon give us a highlight.
Off the top of my head, I'm just going kind of with what Ashton said, but with a different route, which was, it was like Hagrid's Magical Creatures
Hmm.
or something. The wait was forever long. It was like minutes, which is crazy. But what was cool is you're on this like motorcycle, and one person was in like the sidecar, so it's like a 2-person wide thing. And I kind of wish they had like normal motorcycle seats, because that would have been way more terrifying, but they didn't. They just had like kind of a couch cushion, but they still had the ratcheting down the latch thing. But it was super fun to ride a roller coaster with like handlebars, because I love to ride bikes, so that was super fun for me, like getting to lean into the turns and stuff, and with all the boosts and whatnot.
I'm going crazy to make sure I understand. I just want to know what it was really called. Now you got to be wondering what the name of that ride was, because it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I'd like to recommend it to others. It is Haggard's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Yep.
Yeah.
So you had it right. Very cool. That was a fun one. Gino.
The one I'm gonna have to go with, I also couldn't tell you the name of, but it was in the Disney World Star Wars one, like the newest Star Wars one.
Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance. It was very well. Made me actually want to apply to being one of the people there. But I don't live down here in Florida, so it would be a terrible commute. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't hire me anyway. But I just, because I love Star Wars and those franchises.
Well, I learned last night that one of our line ladies, attendants, working the line, had worked on the Rock and Roller Coaster. Was the ride she was at for 2 years, and that's the only ride she knew. Ever did at the Disneyland park. So they might hire World. Thank you. So they might hire you. You just be on the same ride over and over. It's Star Wars.
It's not a big deal. Yeah, not a big
Yeah,
deal.
I
at
think
all.
you would enjoy it.
I would.
Yeah. Did you give us your recap?
I'll be honest, my highlight probably has to, and this is going to sound weird to the kids, but really my highlight has to be that there wasn't fighting. I didn't have to break up any fights, any arguments. There was a hand slap competition going on that I did have to.
It wasn't a fight.
No, but I just had to call a truce before it got ugly, because I could just see that it was going down that path.
I
So
thought
that,
about hitting you. I'll be honest.
so Dad had to interject. But it was just a simple, hey guys, let's probably not do that. So to me, that was probably the highlight. For me, it's fun to watch as you guys have got older that we're able to take different and more dynamic vacations, right? We're able to run farther, faster, do different stuff,
Get out there and go.
and I don't have to worry about having to handhold and I don't want to be in line. Okay, cool, go do something else. I don't really care.
I'm going to ride this roller coaster. You can do whatever you want.
I don't really care. Guys, I don't want to go get wet. And you're like, fine, we don't care.
We will.
Yeah, you guys went through some of those rides over and over. So fun.
Well, we don't need to brag about our vacation this whole time. That's not why we're here.
No, but it's really one of our episodes, which I'm trying to think which one it was, but it was the 5 languages of love,
Mhm. Yep.
which happens to be quality time. And so that's why to us it's such a big deal, is because we're spending quality time together. What episode number was that? I think we got that one pulled up.
Would
I
be
want to say 4.
episode. Was it 4?
I had it right there on that list.
It is episode. Yeah, it was. James got it right. Episode 4. We talked about the languages of love, which was hosted by
It was me.
Gideon,
Yeah.
and it was such a crazy, different thing for me. I remember learning a ton from that episode. I think one of the biggest things, well, because one of my largest languages of love that I recognized for a super long time was I'm a very touchy person. My test didn't reflect that, but see this sort of thing. This is what you don't see when you listen to our podcast.
Because
Watch
Dad
it.
normally doesn't do that. That's not
That's
his
true.
touchy.
We're at the opposite sides of the table for a reason. But no, I'm. Oh my gosh. So I am like a touchy person.
So he was
Do you have
pretty
it
excited
close?
about it.
It's
It's
far.
buried. Okay,
It's
never mind.
buried.
I was gonna show it to our.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, we can catch him up. We can send a link out. But saying that is, I was able to buy him something, and it really made him happy. It was fun to watch him go, "Wow, that's cool! That's way cool! Look, it's Sabak," and he was all pointing it out and talking about it. I'm like, "Oh, I can buy him that." You know what I mean? And for his birthday, it's coming up, and I had no problem with buying it that. It was fun. It was just kind of fun for me. So.
Entirely unrelated note, I got to taste blue milk, from Star Wars, because that was cool. But anyway.
I feel like we're just bragging now.
I am. Yes, unrelated. That
I
was,
wasn't.
We
Mine
were
was
doing
language of
touchy
love.
feely. It was great. We were talking about the things we learned, and I was like, hey, "Guess what I did?"
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, here's a funny story. If you want to know a funny backstory, we went to a really nice restaurant with one of Dad's friends,
Ford's Garage.
and they gave us burgers, or we ordered burgers, and we all got different things. And in the car, we were talking about them. You go to a restaurant, then you review your food afterwards. Anyway, so we were all talking about our stuff, and we hear Dad from the front of the car go, "Mine had an egg." And
I was
Mine
just
had an
comparing.
egg on it.
I know. We were
You're so
all
happy.
comparing. But Dad goes, "Mine had an egg on it." And for some reason, everyone went super quiet. And then Gideon went, "Congratulations." In the most sarcastic voice ever.
It was silent. What was I supposed to say? Okay.
So I had to deal with that for the next 5 minutes or 8 minutes getting
We had a
home.
couple break checks.
And
to say it.
you did have break checks, and remember what I used to say: if it's funny to me, it's still funny.
It's not funny to Dad.
It's not funny.
Shut up.
And then, but I realized that is hurt feelings, so I kind of changed that mantra. It's not if it's funny to me, it's still funny. Sometimes it has to be funny to others. How's that? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Which is a point I think we'll get to as well.
Absolutely.
Um,
So, Language of Love, good episode. It was right after our Stages of Grief episode, so both of those are pretty powerful. We weren't going to go episode by episode, but I wanted to call that one out. Just it was a hard time for us, and still is. And there's times that it hits me at the most random times in the random places, and it's still okay to feel sad. Embrace it. Know what it is. And that we're going to have an amazing guest next time to help us talk through some of that and how to embrace the moment when you're feeling it instead of pushing it down. So excited about that.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's coming quickly apparent during the start of this live stream is, we use this podcast to teach about things that we know, but also a large and bigger part almost is even learning for ourselves. Like the Languages of Love, we learned a ton of stuff, mostly just about each other, more than just teaching things about the languages of love. Let's take it back, or earlier in the season, just a little bit. Episode 2 of season 3, starting conversation. You had a story for that that you wanted to share with us.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. On this trip, there was quite a few different conversations that I started. Right, one, I met somebody from Minnesota. I met somebody from West Jordan, Utah. Shout out to that family. Somebody from where are they? Somewhere in Mexico. Anyways, so just by turning and being willing to say hi to somebody, and then say, "Oh, where are you guys from?" Yeah, right. You're stuck in the line for an hour with people. Some people don't want to talk. Some people do want to talk. But
Some people are playing heads up. Which
which
A
is
lot
fun.
of people. Yeah.
Which is fun. But we also got to talk. We talked to Disney employees. We talked to Universal employees. We just got to spend a little bit of time trying to get out of our own little comfort zone. But I think specifically is about asking questions, right? And I think that's really the theme that we're going to come back to later on tonight. But I kind of broke out of my comfort zone on that as far as when we landed in Minneapolis. Back up a long story really short, but we ended up having to get to the airport Utah time like at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. So we're all pretty tired. Grandpa dropped us off in our motorhome. And then we get to
Great for
Minneapolis. Yeah, then we get to Minneapolis and they're like, "Oh, you've got a 3.5 hour layover." I happened to notice that there was a flight leaving to Orlando within minutes that it was already boarding, and I walked over and said, "Hey, this is a long shot, but do you have 6 seats?" And the lady's like, "Well, how fast can you get your family over here?" And I said, "In a heartbeat." So
now, if we
so-
can leave now, I'll be here a minute ago.
So I go running over to my family. I'm on a business call. Sorry, Jake, when you listen to this, but I'm like, "Hey, hold on. Hey, get over to the airplane right now. They're boarding the plane."
It was particularly funny because at the airport that morning, like we had all brought our stuff, and so we pulled stuff out. We were ready to camp out for
Yeah,
3.5
we were.
hours, and then Dad gets over there and he's like, "Move! Get over onto that plane. We need to get to Florida." So
So ask. And there's going to be a few other times that we talk about good things that happen from just asking. But that was to me, that was probably the set our trip in the right motion. Would we have been upset to stay a few extra hours in Minneapolis? No, we planned on it. But was it more fun to be in Florida? Yes.
yeah, it was fun to have the travel over with.
That's right.
Relatively. Yeah, no, it was great, and conversations are important. I want to take a quick second, mention our merch store for those of you who are here. As you know, or may or may not know, a quick bonus that we're doing right now on our shop.spreadshop.com/adulting-decrypted. We're doing 15% off on everything in the merch store. So if you want to go and grab something, we've got some great merch on there. And we've lowered a lot of the prices, so we don't get as much out of it, but
Not our intent.
we're just trying to get more adulting and sharing and messages out there. Anyway, so we wanted to drop that quick look. What'd you get?
I think an easier way, instead of putting in that super long link, you just go to Spreadshirt and search Adulting Decrypted, and it's there. I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than
Both
making
ways
it
work.
super long. Yeah.
Or just type both things into Google. That's right there.
Figure something out. Right, exactly. Perfect. All right. Decisions. Episode 6 of season 3. That is a fun topic.
Huh. Sure.
Decision making.
Let's just say we have some learning to do on this one as a
Yeah.
group. for
Something that we learned once we got here in Florida is that we are really good at decision setting upping, but not amazing at decision making and committing. There's been a ton of moments, particularly in theme parks, where we've just gotten off of something like the Velocicoaster, and Dad or Mom will turn to us and like, "Okay, what do you guys want to do?" And I'm sure all of us secretly have something inside that we're like, "We want to do this," but then we're like, "Oh."
And my answer was, "Hey, let's go back, have lunch, go sleep, take a nap."
And we're all like, "But we're in the park and there's only 4 hours left." Do you have something?
No.
Didn't you guys want to do something? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah,
I mean-
sometimes.
You just
See, there we go. There's the source.
Well, yeah, but sometimes we're just like, even sometimes I'm just like, well, you know what? I don't have anything that I want to do, but I want to do more things. That's something I feel myself going to do a lot.
You want to do something, you just don't know what that is.
Correct.
That's fair.
And something I think that hinders my ability to make quick decisions, purely going off of theme parks, okay, is whether or not someone does or does not want to do something. Because I know what I want to do, but I also try and be like nice to what other people want. Sometimes that's not the case. There were times where I'm like, I'm going to ride a Velocicoaster and no one is going to stop.
Whether you like it or not.
Like, if I'm the only one in the line, I will be the only one in the line. That is no problem. But then there was other times where there was rides we liked, like some of us liked and some of us didn't, and someone would come up and vote, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, great, I don't want to do that either. Let's just go do something else. And so, but yeah, for me, decision making can be hard because if you try too hard to be a people pleaser, sometimes you can kind of get your feet stuck.
No, and I think that's part of it, right? Is because we all want to have fun together, right? We want to gel, we want to do fun, but there's times you have to voice your opinion, right? And Sabrina did it really well. Shout out to Sabrina and Maturity. These guys all wanted to go ride wet rides at the end of the day, and Sabrina's like, "Look, I'm not feeling the love for it right now. I don't really want to be in it." So she just voiced her opinion and said, I don't really want to do that. I would rather do this or this. And so we decided as a group, hey, we're going to divide, and everybody's going to get what they want to be able to do, and they still can. So, but if she was just a people pleaser, she would have been there angry, maybe done it once or twice. But
Right.
Gideon, you were able to ask on a water ride, you were able to ask a question.
Yeah. So we had this like rapids ride where you got in this like big old tube. There's a whole bunch of seats. You buckle in and then you spin around and get super wet. And everything.
Kind of like Rattlesnake Rapids in Lagoon.
If you've ever been there.
Yeah, if anybody's ever been there, it's like Rattlesnake Rapids. But we were sitting there, and I had like tried not to get my feet wet for the longest time, and they got soaked. So I was like, fine, whatever. I don't care anymore. I'll do all the rides I want. And we were sitting in there.
But you're wearing pure leather Vans. I mean, so it's
Yeah, pure leather high tops. But it's
and
the
they're
style.
black, right? And when they're black, they turn your toes black. But go ahead.
Yeah, my whole foot was black.
Don't worry, it's not
Anyways.
gangrene. He's fine. Go ahead.
So we were sitting there, and there was
Go ahead.
And there was like nobody in the line. I was like, hey, I know we're gonna end up doing this again anyways. So the employee like stepped over to motion everybody out, and we weren't the only people in there. So there's 4 of us. It was us 3 and then Mom. And we were like, well, actually, I talked to the employee. I was like, hey, could we just do it again? And he just kind of looked around, like looked back at the line, and just shrugged, and he's like, sure. So,
But if you wouldn't have asked, you would have got out. You would have walked all the way out, turned around, and walked all the way back in. So, I mean, the power of the ask, right? I mean, that's the second time that it worked in our favor. So it's okay to ask, right? And just like in a decision, I had to ask a couple times, hey, how much do you want to do this? How much do you want to do this? And we kind of get onto like a weighing it out. And because sometimes we just don't know. So that trick is, I'd say, hey, Gideon, what's your desire for pizza tonight? What's a number? 10,
oh yeah,
10 high, 0, I don't want it at all.
I'll just say 6.
Right, and then I go, Gene, what's your desire?
7.3.
Right, and so then we just ask that, and then we'd say, okay, who's desire for chicken, and kind of repeat the process, and kind of get a feel for what the car wants, and then make a decision, right? But most of the time, you guys are so hungry, you're just like, I don't care, just feed us.
Okay, let's eat food. And then Dad gets mad because he's like, Dad, you're not helping. I don't know where I want to go either, and you're not giving me anything. And then you make a decision, and then the lights go out, or all the power goes
Oh,
out.
that's
on the
right, yeah.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to go to CC's Pizza.
Yeah,
and-
pizza, actually, conveniently enough. For the example, we stopped at a pizza shop. We were literally about to get out of the car and go enjoy some nice all-you-can-eat pizza. Boom,
Whole
everything is just
Gone.
dark. No lights anywhere. You see the employees come out like, yeah, we're done. Like,
That's where
it's
making a later decision helped
Yeah.
us. If I wouldn't have had to flip around the block, we could have been paying for pizza that we couldn't eat.
That's true.
No, bad example. Who knows?
Yeah, well, anyway.
Anyway,
Sometimes you can't control the
I'm gonna say the next episode just because
Okay.
I looked at your phone.
Go for it.
Going back to like kind of back home, another episode. It was episode season 3, episode 9. It was pet care, and we have a dog back home, and
shout out to Annalisa and Rita.
yeah, they're
Thank
taking
you.
care of Yoda, and that was a cool one because we didn't really know what to do or have like a neighbor or somebody come take care of the dog because we can't fly with him. Stick him in the overhead carry thing.
No, you're absolutely right. It's something that you have to be aware of, and we're fortunate to live where we do and able to hand him off to such good friends. But not everybody has that. Sometimes you have to arrange it real far in advance. You have to kennel them. But I like that you called that out as something that people should be aware of when they're getting animals or pets, etc. That they know that they have to take care of them. They're responsible for them, even for the 10 days we're away from home. Oh, hey, nobody break into our house.
Yeah, no, don't do that, please.
It should be right.
The neighbors got us.
Anyway,
That was random.
this is probably a good time to bring up our giveaway that we're doing.
I like it.
So here's the little challenge. We are doing a giveaway. That's last time we did it over our stream. It was really easy to win due to
there's like
viewership
nobody there.
and numbers. Thank you to those for being here. So this giveaway is open until this coming Sunday. And here's the rules. Here's what you got to do. You've got to like and follow either our Instagram or our Facebook pages. You have to give us a message. Tell us either one of your favorite adulting stories from this past season or something you'd like to hear us talk about. Maybe not answer your questions because we don't know everything, but just
But here's what we are committed to, though. If we don't know the answer to the question, we will find somebody that gives it. You guys, we have found so many awesome guests.
Oh yeah.
So to your point, Ashton, post a question. We will find an answer. As a matter of fact, we didn't even know that we had a guest in our back pocket to talk purely about positivity.
Yeah.
310, episode 10 was Mr. Nilsson.
Gosh,
that one brought us all to tears at different times. Thank you, Zach, for sharing your story with us. And what's happening to him this year? Big news.
He is the vice principal at the high school.
Where Gideon's gonna be heading off to.
and where we both graduated from.
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome that we don't know the answers to some of these. I wouldn't know how to tell somebody to go through, thyroid cancer and but we found somebody. I didn't know. There's a lot of stuff that I don't have the life experience to bring to these guys and to you as listeners. But hey, my network's getting pretty deep, and I'm not afraid to ask anybody for anything.
Come give us answers. So yeah, we're committed to getting those answers. So either tell us what you liked or send us a question, like and follow our pages, and then you'll be entered into a drawing that will be made that coming Wednesday. So entries come to Sunday, drawing will happen on Wednesday, and we're giving away basically your choice of merch at our
This
store.
Sunday?
Just one thing. Yeah, this coming Sunday.
Date is the
June 13th.
No, that's next.
That's your
Sunday.
birthday.
6th.
I know. I just realized
Sixth.
it's Sunday. It's the
6th.
6th.
So the 6th.
So June, we'll make sure to post this on our social and stuff as well. But
You're gonna.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy.
so get those entries in. We'll give you whatever you want from our store. Not to brag, but our sweaters are dope.
We
They
really
are
like
so
them.
sick. I actually have one.
We would have wore them, but we're in Florida.
Yeah, it's hot.
And that's a lot of
I could
baggage.
grab it.
You did bring it with you?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You can go find it. Go brag to the people. But yeah, so get those entries in. It's crazy. No other giveaway that I've heard of, you can get a free pick from our store. So yeah, if you win, we'll message you. You tell us what you want, and we'll get it to you.
So while Gideon's getting that, I want to give a shout out to another one of our guests, Dell Major. He was our 3.12, talked about it's okay to suck at some things. Dell is actually with his whole family right now doing a bicycle trip through South Dakota. And he's got little kids. And if you want to follow him, he's on Facebook, Dell Majors. He's talking about his experience. Go ahead and show the merch real
So-
quick.
This is the sweater. It's kind of like lined.
He did that all himself.
And this is me. I'm Roscoe the dad. I'm the bald one.
Oh
Just in case if anybody was curious.
There you go.
Anyone does-
Your hat, see?
Same exact hat, probably.
Yeah, it is.
If you can't tell, he likes the hat.
You like the hat.
So yeah,
He
insert
lost
to
his
that
other hat.
this Sunday, the 6th. We're doing the drawing on the following Wednesday.
But Del Major, and right now, and I don't know if you guys know, this is in South Dakota. He's having his kids pedal. I can't remember how, like 121 miles or something like
Yikes.
that. So it's got to be further than that. I'll look up the stats and
Yeah.
post it. But the whole thing is he's got like all the way down to like his 5 and 6 year old pedaling bikes, and then he's got the other two in what are those carts behind?
Mhm.
You got to see some of the pics. We'll post them on the Adult
Yeah.
Thing Decrypted. But shout out to Dell for living his life the way he said he would. Right? Some people talk a good game, but Dell still designed his life so that he can take that month, take his family, and go do these extended what he sees as important for his family's growth. And I just mad respect. We didn't. Yeah. Look, there's certain things I'm not.
Really nice to have around. Really nice to have around.
Have you guys made a decision not to be perfect at something after that? or intentionally
No.
bad?
I'm thinking.
I don't know if I've made a
Not
decision
right.
on anything specifically to like not be good at it per se, but I've made a decision to let myself grow. If that makes sense.
It does.
Give myself space because like one of the things. Here's a story. One of the things I work on is composition, and this is a big thing. So it doesn't quite follow the mold of find something that you don't want to be perfect at, because I want to be really good at doing music. But a hard part with that is when you're an artist and you're creating things, often when you make your first couple things, you're like, oh wow, cool, potential, this is great. And then when you go start the next things, you're going, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is awful. My work is absolute garbage. But something that episode taught me and that I've been trying to apply is allow yourself to be mediocre. Because once you allow yourself to complete mediocre projects, you then be able to develop the skill sets to create amazing projects. And the story behind that is it was a day before we left on our vacation, and I got an email in my music business inbox. And it said, oh, there's only 2 days left, or there was 4 days left to enter into this composition contest. Compose something for a trailer.
Really cool though.
Yeah, and I liked it in the end, but I started it and I spent a couple hours on it the first day, and I was like, yeah, I like this. I like this really beginning, and I went through. I could talk a ton about the process of putting it all together, but then it came to the last day. I was working on it. We were already here in Florida. I brought my computer. I brought a little keyboard and a hard drive with me. And at night, I was sitting down. I was working on it. It was due the next day. And I was like, I should really figure out what time zone it's due in, so that way when I wake up tomorrow, I can finish it. Because I wasn't happy with where it was yet. And I looked it up, and it was due ended up being about 6 o'clock Florida time. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to be so busy. I'm going to have no time to do that tomorrow. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to finish it. And that forced me to have to do things that I might not think was the best. But in the same token, I finished a project. I was able to prove to myself mainly that I'm able to finish a project,
Then that you're willing to take on a challenge, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people would have said, look, I can't be. And so with you being able to step back and say, I'd rather do it than not, right? But I know that it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
That's a great share. Thank you for sharing.
Would I prefer having something perfect? Of course, but it's not going to happen.
Well, and it's hard to know what perfection is, right? I mean, and doesn't mean that we shouldn't strive for it and then strive for, and that I think goes into the ET ride. Clint Pulver talked to us right at the end on episode 17, the one that was dropped last Wednesday, about ET. Well, we went to the ET ride at Universal. That's in Universal Hollywood, I think, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, this is kind of a weird ride. However, it didn't take anything away from the value that conversation had about ET, right? And how to still drive to that perfection, drive to that goal. But I think his was a little bit different than even perfection.
Mm-hmm.
What was his?
The plan, making it like seeing out exactly what you want, sculpting exactly what you want before you go and do it.
I think
And design it, right?
It's the planning process.
Yeah, and I think if you step back and look at any great creation, I think time was spent well before it was ever developed into production. It took time to step back and go, okay, what is the deliverable? For me, that's what I keep stepping back to. This morning, I wanted to get you guys up and get you guys to the beach so we can relax. I'm like, I'm going to get them up. Mom looks at me like at 6:30 and goes, okay, so we're going to force them to get up early so that we can start relaxing. Interesting. Wouldn't it be better if you let them slip in and let them relax and enjoy vacation for what it's meant to? But I'm like, but I'm paying for it. I go through that whole tirade. But I had to step back and look and think, okay, what was the purpose of the vacation? It's to have fun. It's to make memories. It's to do different things. If we were to rush through the day, we would not have been jumping off that silly boat dock seeing a dolphin, doing something I've never done, which is kayaking mangrove trees in Florida. So by being willing to say it's about the togetherness, it's about the development, it's about the people,
Quality time.
it totally kept me from going overboard.
Right.
So that was a shout out to Clint in that episode. We thought it was pretty critical to our trip, right? Because we saw ET, and so we've been talking. We probably talked about this about 100 times.
Yeah, I like to think of the ET as planned persistence.
I like it.
Because we always we're dying to jump into something, but it's like you've got to plan. Because if you're willing to jump, you'll jump. But if you don't know where you're landing, it doesn't work.
Does that play into how long it took you to jump off the?
Okay, I've jumped on higher things. I was just getting the motivation to jump off.
Oh,
things.
so that would have been like episode 3. Motivation. Do I need it? Is it worth anything?
Yeah.
And by the way, he did jump.
Yeah, I just waited until everyone was not looking. I would not give them any satisfaction. Be like, I pushed him to jump off the roof.
Well done.
Yeah.
He did it for himself.
I love it.
did.
Well done, Gene. Proud of you. Well done.
So I guess the big takeaway from our live stream that we've had probably the most this vacation is asking questions.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It got us on an earlier flight. It got you on the water ride again. Where else?
It got us on a broken Toy Story ride again.
Yeah.
So we hopped on
Two for
a Toy Story ride at Hollywood Studios, Disney World, and we got around, and one of the screens was broken. So we just had to shoot at a blank screen, and I got the highest score anyway. So to anyone who's curious,
I beat your
however,
score the next time.
I don't know. But so when then we finished the ride, and I asked the guy, I even just told the guy, I was like, look, it's broken. It didn't work for us. Like, because there was 2 of us facing a broken screen, 2 of us facing a working screen. And I was like, yeah, it was broken for us. And the guy's like, you know what? Just stand off to the side. We'll get you on another cart that works. And then that cart worked really well.
No, it didn't. My gun wouldn't shoot. It kept shooting up.
The one I was on worked really well.
The ride kept stopping. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that we were able to do a different ride. But the other time I forgot, just remembered, was when we were out at Kennedy Space Center, and I couldn't download the app or get a ticket, so I just asked the lady. I said, "Hey,
To ride a tour bus.
Yeah, to ride a tour bus to go out and look at the what? It's the new rocket that they're launching. I can't think of the name of it.
SLS is the acronym.
Oh, yeah.
The Safety Launch System, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, so I said, hey, look, I've got 1, but I can't get 6 for some reason. It's not letting me sync up my ticket, and she was kind enough to put us on the standby list, and we got in. And I worked at Jimmy Fallon as well. I just went up to the employee and said, hey, is there a standby line for this? And they go, yeah, go over here. So I think the biggest takeaway for us is just ask. Sometimes you just have to be willing to turn to somebody and say, hey, can you help me get on this ride? I'd really like to experience this ride or this opportunity.
And in several cases, we got no's. So we shared a lot of good ones. But one of them was like, oh, we got some fast passes for this ride that broke down. Can we use them here to get on this ride that we really want to do faster? And the guy was like, no, you can't. I'm like, oh, dang. Okay, well, but now we know.
Yeah,
we don't have to regret it anymore.
That's right. There was no what ifs, right? So to me, it's better to ask the question and get a no than it is to wonder as you walk away, could I have done something different? So that's really what I think probably the lesson is, hey, it's okay to ask. So
Yeah, well, I think that's really what we wanted to talk about in our live stream. We've got 3 of you out there listening to us right now. Are there any questions? Oh, 4 of you listening right now. We're about to wrap up our live stream, but if you have any questions for us, drop them in the chat now for us. We can talk about them. It doesn't even have to be about anything adult thing. You can ask Gideon why he likes that hat so much, or you can ask Dad why he's bald.
I wouldn't have a good answer for that, but I could.
You told us
Ask
the
questions,
story
that's-
about the spinal lump thing. You want to tell that story?
I don't know. Nobody asked the question.
Nobody asked that question. Okay, well, thank you for joining us on our live stream. Don't forget to join in for that giveaway. Again, that's going to be going until this Sunday the 6th.
And we will take your question here.
Yeah.
If they throw in a question now, it counts as an entry.
Yep. And then, Do you guys have anything else to say to the people before we sign off on our live stream?
Thanks for learning how to adult with us. Having a lot of fun.
And we will have several more guests on season 4 when that
Lots of
comes
cool
out.
people.
Will come out eventually once we figure out that date. Be updated later.
No, it'll be July. We're taking the month off, and we'll start July and start launching again.
First week of July.
Yeah, we've got some amazing. I'm really excited. Gene's right. We've already got some cool stuff lined up.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on our live stream. Keep adulting and all that fun stuff, and we will see you in the first couple weeks of July.
Happy adulting.
Oh yeah, should we do a song?
Oh yeah, we can do it.
Okay, here we go.
Like an adult. Hey! Signing off season 3 for the first time. Like an adult.
Learning to ask questions all of the time.
Oh,
All right, thank you, folks.